spring is one of the most challenging times for high prey drive dogs and also for the owners of high prey drive dogs. So you have to be gentle on yourselves as well and forgiving. When you live in an area where there is still snow and ice, and now everything is going to melt. And we can imagine the ice and the snow to have preserved scents inside that now will be released all at once. So we have massive scent pictures out there. And especially for our high prey drive dogs, there are so many triggers flooding the brain that they have to process. And at some point, they might not be able to hold themselves together anymore because they have so much information to process. And the next aspect why spring is such a challenging time is that we have the mating time of most wildlife out there. The animals are incredibly active and they are sometimes acting a little bit stupid, to be honest. So they are not acting like they normally would do. And this means that they turn up at certain areas at certain times where neither you nor your dog expects them. And they leave their scent everywhere. So the dog might either smell them or see them. And we have more exposure to wildlife than usual. And here again, our dogs, when they see something, when they smell something, when they hear something that is interesting for them, but they cannot react the way they would usually do and explore these situations, they have to stay on a lead or they have to stay on a track or they cannot run as they want to. And then later in the year, a little later, we have all the young animals also act quite stupidly and show up in places and do things you would not expect. I remember last year we had little fox puppies behind the house. They were super cute, but they were so stupid. I was seeing them from my perspective, sticking their heads out. My dogs didn't see them, but they could hear them, they could smell them. And I was like, what are you doing? We can see you. And then they crouched down and thought we might not see them anymore, but of course we did. I don't know what it is in your area, but in my area I have to keep my dog leashed when I enter the forest during times when we have young animals, young wildlife around. My dogs cannot just outlive their needs as usual. They don't have so much off-leash time as usual. And this also puts a lot of frustration in them. So frustration is higher than usual in my dogs. Of course, we can do training, and it's a good time to do training because we have many opportunities to train. But it's always needs first and training second. I rather take this time of the year to focus on very certain aspects of my training that I find very important, and the ones that might not be so important, I just leave it be for a couple of weeks. And I also focus on giving my dog safe outlets. So I think about where can we walk where we do not have constant wildlife triggers. Maybe I take them rather to a residential area and we sniff the front yards of other people's houses and stuff like that, which is also very interesting for my dogs in a social context because there are other dogs, but we don't have this constant wildlife around and wildlife triggers. And I also think about where can they run without a leash? Are there secure gardens where you can let your dog run and sniff and stuff like that? I wouldn't say reduce your training, but think about your training, consider what is really important to train, then give your dog a lot of outlet for natural behavior, for sniffing, for running, and try to avoid constant triggers during that time. So this would be my advice to master spring until we go into summer and everything calms down a little bit.